Hello, I decided to make a better video concerning my homelessness in Panama City. Here's my baby. She wants to say hi. Hi, baby. It's my little new baby. She's a kitty cat. See, you can't see her. Anyhow, I was homeless in Panama City for a period of 5 months last year, and I want to be sure that I let people know exactly how that happened. And I don't credit myself or anything I did wrong with being homeless. It was done deliberately, and it has been done 5 times while I was in Florida. One time, well, basically, I'm going to just tell you about last year because for 5 months I spent in my SUV, and everybody that knew me can tell you, yes, I did live in my SUV. And I went to Planet Fitness every day and took a shower. And right next door was McDonald's. And then I would head for the beach or the marina and take a walk. And I actually enjoyed my life, except the part where it was winter time and it was the end of the month and I almost froze to death. I woke up in the morning and my eyeballs were literally frozen. I could not see out of my eyes. They were frozen solid. It took a good 45 minutes for them to thaw out so I could see to drive. So uh, I had a splitting headache. I think my brain was frozen. But it was, I believe they said it was 14 below zero on this one particular day that I woke up and my eyeballs were frozen. And I was out of gas and I couldn't run my car because um, I didn't have any gas. So it was a dead end cycle. Every end of the month, I had no money. And I called my family who lived up north in Ohio to ask them if I could get my money a little bit early. Usually in February, I got money from a trust. And they said no, and I explained to my sister that I was living in my car and that I almost froze to death and that I would need the money early, and she told me no. So right then I knew that um, my family didn't care if I lived or died, which I pretty much felt that way anyways, but I was positive at this time that that was the case. So I just lived every day to the fullest. I kept thinking I could freeze to death every night when I went to bed. And 3 months out of those 5 months were cold. And so it took all I had to just exist. I mean, that's all I was doing was existing. But I knew a lot of the homeless in Panama City, and I also went a lot to the park at, I can't even think of the name of it now. There was a park there that I went to off of Harrison Avenue. And I used to go to the McDonald's at Harrison Avenue a lot too. But basically, I got harassed by the police. Every time I went to this park, they would ask to smell my drink. They would ask me for ID. They would say there's no loitering, and so you couldn't even go to the park and sit. At one point, I was laying on the beach because I was living with a crazy lady for a couple of months, and this was when I wasn't in my car, not the 5 months I was in my car, but I was staying with this lady, and she was literally insane. And she kept getting up and going to the bathroom and keeping me up all night long because every time she'd come out of her room, I'd wake up. And so I would get up like at 5 o'clock and go to the beach and wait till the sun came up. And then I'd go out and put a sheet and a pillow and lay on the beach. Well, this one particular day, this is when I decided I would permanently leave Panama City and never return. A police officer, I rolled up my blanket and I was getting ready to go back to my car because I slept for a couple of hours. And this officer ran up to my car and said, "Hey, ma'am, were you sleeping on the beach?" And I looked at him and I said, "No, I'm laying out in the sun." "Well, you're not allowed to sleep on the beach," he says. So, things were getting really weird and out of control there. And, the whole 5 months I was freezing to death in my car, I never once, one time I got stopped by the police, and it was in a Walmart parking lot, which I've always been told you're allowed to park at Walmart. So I was in Lynn Haven in the parking lot, and the police came at 4 o'clock in the morning, banging on my windows. Now, mind you, there's campers in there with people sleeping in them, and all kinds of other people in the lot close to me. And this man's banging on my windows. And I said, "Can I help you, sir?" I said, "Hang on, I've got to get my keys because I have to open the window." And so I climb over the seat and open the window. And I said, "Can I help you?" And he said, "Ma'am, you're going to have to leave." And I said, "Why? These people are sleeping here and they've been here for 3 days. Why can I not stay here?" "Well, ma'am, I'm asking you to leave and you need to leave." And I said, "Well, then you're going to have to knock on their windows and tell them to leave too. Because I'm a person, they're a person, and there's no reason I can't stay here." And so, I started to drive away and I said, "Wait, I'm going to go back and ask him what's up." So I go back around and I said, "Sir, I just want to know why I can't sleep here. I'm like really tired and you're asking me to drive, and I want to know why I can't get some rest here. Ma'am, I suggest you pull on out of the lot and don't come back. And don't let me catch you here again." So I said, "Okay, sir." So I leave. So basically, I guess I was in some computer database where it said, "Do not rent to this person for whatever reason." I'm on a shit list, okay? And so every place I went, no one would rent to me. And they kept basing it on prior landlords, prior landlords. Well, that's because I had to break my lease. One place there was a meth lab. One place there was asbestos and black mold in the ventilation. And I woke up almost gasping for air because I couldn't breathe. And there was no hot water. And then there was another place when I had my mobile home that the manager was coming in there when I was there. And he asked me one day, did I see him in his skivvies, that he came over to fix my fan and he didn't want to wake me up, so he just let himself in. If that isn't creepy. So I changed the locks and he tells me, "Oh, I hope you didn't change the locks and waste the money. I'm a locksmith. I can get in any lock." So that was the end of that mystery. So I had to sell my trailer and move. And that's when I moved into the place with the meth lab upstairs. And then I moved to the place with the mold and asbestos. So all these places are writing on my credit that I broke my lease. But they left out the part about the meth and the asbestos and the mold. And so no one would rent to me, so I was stuck in my car. So, all my life I've tried to be a decent human being and pay my bills, but it doesn't matter because in today's society, it doesn't matter if you pay your bills or not. They're going to find a way to put some junk on there to keep you from getting housing, keep you from getting a car, keep you from getting a loan. They can keep you from getting anything you need. So basically, I had to move, and I drove my 25-year-old car up from Florida to Ohio, where for a month I was in my car again. And so it was winter time, and so I found one person that was a so-called friend that wound up kicking me out with 2 foot of snow below zero weather. so her son could come stay there with his baby and girlfriend, and kept the money that I gave her for the whole month, except for a little minuscule amount she gave me, and basically tried to make me homeless, where I had to spend time at the homeless shelter. And so the whole thing is about not having anyone on earth to count on, which I don't. I have God and I pray to Him, and normally He helps me. And so He helps me every time that I ask Him to help me. And even when I was freezing to death, I was not mad at anyone. I did not go through my day angry. I just got up and tried to enjoy my day the best way I could. And that's what I do every day. I don't let the actions of others disrupt my peace. And there's plenty of them that try to do it, but you have to be very strong, and you have to believe in yourself and believe in God, or you won't survive in this world. My dad used to say, there's two ways to be. You can either be strong or give up. Those are the two ways you could be. So I've always been like a fighter, not fist fight, but fighting to survive type person. So anyhow, with that, I'll close. And I just want to say I miss a lot of the people in Panama City, but I will never be able to come back because of the memories I have from there with the almost freezing to death. But there was a church, I did want to mention, the Methodist Church by the Mission did let me stay there on cold nights, and I very much appreciated them helping me. And they did that probably 5 times, but they fed us and let us stay on a cot, and I was grateful to God for their help. And I do want to mention that because I know they were hurt by the hurricane, and I'm very sorry for their losses, and I hope they get their Saturday morning breakfast back up. And with that, I'll close. Have a wonderful day.